Welcome to Base Coverage. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for supporting to the show. Don't forget to subscribe here, drop a comment, like a video, share with a friend. We cover ELF ball and we gotta keep this thing going.
We doing everything they talk about. You know I'm everything a boss about. Not putting work and gotta toss them out. I'm really biting, they just barking out. I'm really riding, they just parking now. His street, what to talk about. See the big H.
Welcome back. Appreciate everybody tuning in again. As always, for the intro, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and share this with a friend. And we appreciate everything going on. So today I got a special guest, first time guest. First time we get to chop it up with this man right here. So we're gonna travel down to Madrid, the other side of Spain, and chop it up with my guy, Ja'len Embry, cornerback, newly signed for the Madrid Bravo. So let me go ahead and bring him in right here. So Ja'len, what's good, brother? How you doing?
What's good, man? Can't complain, bro. Hey, enjoying the weather right now in Turkey. Chilling with the family, doing some small workouts, just enjoying, new sightseeing.
Most
Getting
definitely.
ready.
Hey, as you mentioned, you getting out the weather and going somewhere warm, going to chill on the water, get ready to do some work outside. Hey, good for you, because this winter
Man,
it ain't for everyone. It ain't for
it's a
me either.
little it's a little windy. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. But hey, it's better than the snow.
If you're seeing this Insta story, I would like to officially invite you to be an early tester on my app that I've been making with my brother. It's called Quiver, and the goal of it is to start interesting conversations that you wouldn't otherwise be having. So how it works is every single day, there's a prompt that goes out to all users, and you can't see other people's answers to the prompt until you answer it yourself. So once you answer it, then you enter it into the timeline, and you can interact and comment on everybody's responses to the prompt. 24 hours later, there's a new question, a new prompt, and a new conversation. It's really fun, little social media. It's not like Twitter or Instagram that sucks you in for hours. You check it a couple times a day. It makes you kind of reflect on your life and your opinions and stuff like that. And it's been very fun so far. Like I said, we are early on in the process, so we're working through some bugs and kinks and stuff like that, but it does totally work. It's totally functional right now. So we would like to invite you to get on there, make a profile, follow me on Quiver. I'm going to be following back the first chunk of people that get on here and become early testers. It's been very fun so far.
Hey, I'll take that over snow any day. But hey, man, wanted to bring you on. Thank you for stopping by, man, and talk a little bit. And the reason for that is because, and I talk to a lot of guys about like their journeys and their stories, but yours is a very extensive one, my friend. You've been all over the map, wore many different types of cleats, played in many different types of leagues. I want you to dive into that a little bit. Talk a little about like your story, you know, your journey in terms of
Mhm.
where football has and continue to bring you all over the map into these various different leagues and stuff like that. So talk a little about your story, my friend.
I mean, I was always around football growing up. My older brother played it. He dreamed it. He's, you know, bl- blood, sweat, and tears football. And I always stayed around it, him being in a semi-pro, going off to college and stuff. So I started when I was 7 years old personally. Played in Little League all the way up until 10th grade high school. So didn't play ninth grade, didn't play 10th grade of high school. Um, Excelled on offense and defense at Martin Luther King High School in Detroit, Michigan. After that, I was committed to Wisconsin to play receiver. At the time, they had some good running backs, so I said, I'm gonna go ahead and decommit. I went to University of Iowa instead. Was there for a year and a half. Academically, it wasn't, the place for me. Growing up in Detroit, grades was given to me. I feel like, and I was young minded. So went ahead and transferred over to Iowa Central Community College. Played there for a semester, and then went to Northern Illinois University and spent 3 years there. After that, man, that's when the journey begins. Playing with the Spring League for 2 years with the Aviators.
There we go.
After that, getting picked up by the USFL Breakers, New Orleans Breakers.
There we go. Drafted 11th round. Okay.
After that, taking my talents to Germany.
Okay.
So Frankfurt, man, that was a beautiful place. My first time overseas. And man, it was just good, man. The people, the coaches, the teammates, the fans. It was very eye opening for me. The ELF is a growing league. At the time when I got there, it was probably 2 years in, so it was a pretty good experience. Went to CFL
There we
Montreal.
go.
Did training camp with them. Got released and went to Austria. Spent some time in Tyrol.
There we go.
Very, very, very beautiful place, man. Like
Yeah.
mountain
Rains
views,
all the
everything.
time, but it's a dope spot.
Getting in a cold tub every morning, every night. Like it was the best, man. And then now I'm here with Madrid. So get to go over to Spain and see how it is. Different culture change. But can't wait to explore the options over there.
Yeah, man. Hey, listen, and the reason why I'm hyping it up is because, you play for a lot of, at least a lot when you think about teams in Europe, not just leagues, teams in general. All right, there's some top programs, right? And you had the opportunity to play for at least two of them, coming to the ELF, which is rare. And your
Rare.
first time in Europe playing in, the best league, even if the ELF wasn't around, going to Frankfurt you to play in the GFL, which arguably, they had this debate all the time as one of the best leagues in
Yeah.
Europe. But like just having the opportunity, and obviously that opened doors to obviously going to the CFL and then coming back
Mhm.
to the Raiders and stuff like that. So, your journey has taken you, everywhere. Obviously, you mentioned coming up from Detroit. It seemed like going to Wisconsin, going to Iowa Central, you like playing in the North. So good for
Mhm.
you. Good for
I
you.
had to get away from home, man. I had to. I
No,
had
and
to.
it's crazy. So just like thinking about like your journey and having the opportunity to actually like reflect, like,
Mhm.
what would be like your overall thoughts, hindsight 2020 on, obviously starting football from 7 and
Mhm.
now, you're all the way in the ELF playing, heading into your third year playing for the Madrid Bravos.
I mean, honestly, bro, like God can move mountains. I'm gonna say that first and foremost. I'm a God-driven man. This journey alone is I'm nothing without him. Me having my horizon open to seeing other leagues, other teams, and other cultures, man, it's shocking, honestly, to think about it. Won a couple championships myself, and then being released from these top teams with championship culture. Like, me giving back is one of the main things. Seeing people faces, like, that the smile or shaking hands, and it can go a long way. But honestly, man, leadership, that authority, that confidence, that power, like I like it's just crazy to think about, man. Honestly, like not reflecting back, I'm ready to see more, honestly.
Hey, hey, it's
See
and
more.
that's dope because I'm just about to ask you. You kind of led into a little bit, but like, what's your motivation to keep going? But obviously, like, giving back and getting these experiences and stuff like that. So,
I mean, like as a kid, like, growing up and wanting to go to the NFL was always a dream.
yeah,
It still
always
is.
the
But
American dream for any football player in America. Yeah,
now you think about it, bro, like it's more leagues. Like each and every year, you got the ELF, you got the CFL, you got the UFL
NFL.
now,
Yep.
still the USFL. Like I just want to make sure that I'm touching every platform,
Yeah,
letting people know that, hey, there's always multiple ways, don't give up on your dreams, keep praying, keep believing in yourself, and, confidence can go a long way.
absolutely. It definitely could. So let's and obviously mention other leagues as it keeps going, but let's talk a little about this ELF adventure as you're embarking on your third season. Obviously one of the top corners in the league, obviously having the opportunity to come back. There's only only a handful of guys that has been here since year one. But
Mm-hmm.
talk to me about this. Coming from Detroit, right? D Town, the 313.
From the 313, put your motherfucking hands up and follow me.
All the way to the ELF, man. How does a guy that has played, when you're talking about Europe for some of the top franchises like a Frankfurt or like, the Tyrol Raiders, how does a guy go from like those leagues down to like Madrid, who is an expansion team, a new team, but they're getting someone who has championship caliber and experience. So, how does that feel being able to go to a new team when we've seen not a lot of new teams have success, right? So what do you got?
Right.
What do you think you could bring to a Madrid Bravos team, especially with them being an expansion team in the ELF?
I mean, going into the off season, I'm my own agent, honestly. So I sent a lot of emails, made a lot of phone calls, and I reached out to Madrid and told them that I was interested in, joining the new franchise. Speaking with the athletic director, Carlos, he told me, "Hey, I seen your tape. I know your confidence is high. You're a good leader on and off the field." And I was just looking for the opportunity, honestly. If the opportunity is going to, pop up in my face, I'm going to accept it, for what it is. And so with that new league being with the new team being in this league, I just want to make a statement that, hey, like everyone that we bring in on board, we're about business. You can see that we got some good guys on offense, some good guys on defense, but let's talk about these coaches, man. These coaches have experience, in colleges. I spoke with Coach Wood not too long ago, Coach Woodland, and he said, "Hey, like we'll go fly around. Everybody we bringing in, make sure y'all boys running." So, hearing that and already establishing that we're going to fly around sideline to sideline is a plus. And I just, want to be a vocal leader. I want to lead by example. I honestly pride myself in being like a coach's player. So if a player make a mistake or I make a mistake, I'm first, to, point it out and say it before the coaches do, because it can go a long way. We're on the field, the coaches are on the sideline and, accepting all the gifts from God, man.
Most definitely. And it's important to have that guy who, can be a coach on the field and kind of like bridge the gap, in terms of, the message and the tempo and, setting the standard. Right. So that's important.
Standards are high for sure.
Yeah. And teams need that on both sides, And, you spoke a little about some of the players you got. Obviously, as a former DB, I love watching, DBs and how teams are putting their defenses together. But, one thing I guess that's different about what Madrid has done is like, you guys got a solid group back there. Obviously, Kevin Fortes from, Hamburg. Obviously, Luke Glenna, runner-up for Defensive Player of the Year last year from Barcelona. And then some of the homegrowns. I mean, you got Pablo de Diego and Pablo Araya. I mean, I don't know what defense you're gonna run, but you got some guys that could hang in the box if needed, but it also could cover around sideline to sideline.
Oh yeah. I like that too. Like we're very experienced. Guys can play all over. Me myself, can play corner, can play some nickel, can play some safety. I'm expecting to be all over the field, and it's my job right now in the off season to put myself in the best situation so I can go out there and make a statement. Like you said, standards. They're all high all over. I was watching Twitch the other day, and this guy said, "Hey, special players equal special teams." I said, "Hey, we all go play on special teams." So I'm ready to just go out there, man, and have some fun. Bond with the guys. Have some player meetings. Doing things with the community, and just growing. It's a new team in Spain. Madrid, I've never been there, honestly, so I'm just ready to see what everything is about.
Most definitely, and as DK Metcalf, say we're trying to stand on business out here, right?
Touchdown. He's saying in sign language, standing on business. That's slang for
stand on business. Hey, so last question. So the Madrid Bravos, obviously, a lot of people are liking their offseason. All right. Obviously, they're the only new team, but in terms of the signings and the caliber of players that they're able to recruit and get there, and obviously everyone's still waiting to see who the quarterbacks will be. A lot of people are liking what Madrid is doing. But when you look at statistics, even last year, new teams in the ELF, at least in that first week, have went 1-4 in the first quarter, which means the first 4 games are 4-17. None of them have made the playoffs. The only team that's really had success were the Vienna Vikings in year 2. A little bit of a different circumstance in terms of the structure that they had going into it. But when we're talking new teams in the ELF, only ones who really have success come in the championship. So Madrid Bravos, obviously, you guys are getting a lot of attention. You guys got the bye week 1, but your home opener.
And I like that. I
Yeah,
like that. We can
it's
see
an advantage.
how the
It's an
competition
advantage.
is. Get ready for teams. We
Yeah,
don't have to, force things or anything. Like we could be comfortable, cool, calm, and collective, and be really prepared.
most definitely.
Um, but we got Barcelona week 2,
El
and
Clasico. I was about to get into that. Hey, I've been waiting for that
I,
game since the schedule was announced. The
I
ELF
was just
El Clasico week 2, but first home game for the Madrid Bravos, and I'm sure it's going to be packed just based on the rivalry, not just soccer, but the cities. Whenever it's Madrid and Barcelona come together, it's always going to be a classic. Pun
right,
intended on
right,
words.
right.
So, I guess my final question is obviously chemistry is key, and being able to gel and trust everyone is important. What do you
hmm
guys have to do to expedite that process now that the season is, even though for you guys start in June, but the season starting a week earlier this year. So how do you
Right.
guys make sure you're all moving in unison and you're all on the same page and get there as soon as you can?
I mean, honestly, I feel like if we control what we can control, players do what we need to do off the field and on the field. Coaches are clicking and, having those meetings, day in and day out. I feel like we should be good. My main goal is to just win one day at a time. We got a bye week 1, so that means we need to go against ourselves, so hey, I'm ready to prepare, the offensive guys for it. Whether it's me being, an extra receiver or a primary returner or anything, just leading by an example the best way I can. Like I said, I have a few championships under my belt. I was just coaching
Preach,
recently in Florida.
preach.
I was just coaching some 10-year-olds, my nephew, and we won a championship out there. And just seeing how everything works on the sideline, like body language, having players communicate with each other, and just focusing on the little things. We focus on the little things, everything else will take care of itself, man. One thing at a time. I'm like I said, I'm very, 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 very confident in myself, and I expect my brothers and my mentors, which are the coaches, to have confidence in themselves as well.
Most definitely.
Got some good guys, man. We got some good coaches. Like I said,
Listen,
with some good experience. Like I'm just ready to see what it brings this year.
we haven't even dived into like the offensive side, obviously with Willie Patterson,
Oh,
obviously with the O line that they started to put together. David Obi, one of the leading rushers in the GFL last year.
mm-hmm.
Alejandro Fernandez, runner for Defensive Player of the Year, his rookie year, is coming back home. Like, obviously there's always some skepticism when it comes to like new teams, but a lot of people are like, "Whoa, okay, Madrid.
Hey,
All right,
hey,
well, we'll see." We'll see. But
hey, it
hey,
looks
man,
good on paper. Hey, every time it looks good on paper, it's always something tricky or something,
yeah.
that we fall down by the wayside. But hey, if we're running sideline to sideline and we got the motions going, we adapting to sudden changes,
Yeah.
I don't feel, no worries at all.
Hey, and listen, you guys in the West too, so
Mhm.
obviously a rookie
Hey,
team, but
Rainfire.
you got play a lot of vets. Obviously, Zach Edwards, Luke Zaraka, Jadrian
Yeah,
Clark. Obviously, we know about these teams and some teams that are putting together strong caliber teams to try to beat the Fire. So,
for sure.
it's gonna be fun. And
Hey,
hey,
excited to go back to Frankfurt as well. So
hey, listen. And one of the things, so I know I said last question, but it's not really a question. But one of the things that I'm personally excited about, obviously, with your skill set, is to watch you against Jarvis McClams, to watch you against a Markel Castle,
yeah,
Anthony Mahungu, Austin Mitchell. Like, there's gonna
great
be some battles in the West.
great receivers, man. All those guys
Most
are, I'm
definitely.
real cool with, but on that field, sideline to sideline, we're gonna compete.
We
Our
standing on business.
our job is to put on the show for fans, man, and most definitely get a win. And I know those guys, how their mindset works, and I'm just ready to go out there, man. I know they are. I know they're doing everything in their power to get their bodies ready. So I'm excited.
Most
I'm
definitely.
excited to get put in the fire.
Most definitely. Most definitely. Hey, brother, I appreciate you coming on, man. It's been fun chop with you, obviously leading up to this,
Oh, yeah.
but learning a little bit about like your story and talking a little bit. So I appreciate you coming on, my man from the 313.
Now everybody from the 313, put your motherfucking hands up and follow me.
Stand up, baby.
Over in Europe now.
Detroit versus everybody.
Hey, shout out to the Lions. Shout out to the Lions.
Oh yeah, but
Hey,
yeah, we definitely gotta chop it up some more, man.
Yeah.
I know we couldn't touch on everything, but hey, I'm excited to start this with you, man, and I'm looking forward to the future, brother.
Most definitely, man. This won't be the last time we chop it up.
Hard work, they don't know about it. Hard work, they don't know about it. Hard work, they don't know about it. Animal.